Manchester City are stepping into a season unlike any they faced in the Pep Guardiola era. One that could either mark the birth of a new chapter or the beginning of the end. For the first time since Pep arrived, City ended a campaign with 0 silverware. No Premier League crown, no Champions League glory, no domestic cup consolation. And now, the heart of their midfield, Kevin De Bruyne, is gone. Off to Napoli, ending a decade-long love affair that shaped City's dominance. This is no longer just a squad with a few gaps. This is a team forced to reinvent itself on the fly. Their captain of creativity is gone. Key players are recovering from injuries, new signings must deliver instantly, and waiting for them in the Premier League are hungry, fully loaded rivals. Arsenal, Liverpool and Chelsea, all ready to smell blood. So, here's the question echoing from the Etihad to every rival dressing room. Without De Bruyne, can Pep rebuild a new empire, or is City's golden era finally cracking? City fans still remember the nights of dominance, the weeks when winning felt inevitable. But memories don't win titles, so what do you see coming next? To understand how high the stakes are, you have to look at where Manchester City have just come from how far they've fallen in a single season. The 2024/25 campaign was a collapse by their own lofty standards. For the first time under Pep, City finished the year trophyless. The Premier League slipped away in the final stretch. The Champions League dream ended earlier than expected, and the domestic cups competitions they used to treat like training sessions vanished without a trace. But it wasn't just about results. There were deep structural cracks. Injury chaos. Rodri missed crucial months, and without him, City's midfield lost its rhythm. Mateo Kovacic and Phil Foden also spent significant time sidelined, leaving Pep scrambling for solutions. Of depth. For all their riches, City found themselves stretched thin in key positions. Makeshift solutions became the norm, square pegs in round holes. Star departures. Now with Kevin De Bruyne gone to Napoli, the creative heartbeat of the side has stopped beating in Manchester. Jack Grealish's exit, while less impactful, only adds to the thinning core of experienced title-winning players. Goalkeeping dilemma. The arrival of Gianluigi Donnarumma raises tactical questions. He's among the best shot shoppers on the planet, but his ball distribution is far from Pep's ideal, potentially forcing a change in the way City build from the back. And there's an uncomfortable truth. Pep Guardiola's own contract is running down. Every player in that dressing room knows the uncertainty this brings. Stability, one City's biggest weapon, has been replaced by doubt. The past season proved something no rival dared to believe a year ago. Manchester City can bleed. The question is whether those wounds are still open heading into this campaign. Pep Guardiola has never been one to quietly accept decline. If last season exposed the cracks, this summer has been about sealing them, fast, decisively and with calculated risks. The rebuild began with a clear plan: restore balance, inject energy and prepare for life after De Bruyne. Gianluigi Donnarumma. A controversial signing in City terms. Tactically, he's the anti-Ederson, less about pinging 50-yard passes, more about shot-stopping dominance. In a league where margins are razor-thin, Pep is gambling that raw defensive security might outweigh the need for flawless distribution. Rayan Aït-Nouri, finally a natural left-back. Years of improvisation using Nathan Ake or Josko Guardiola in a hybrid role are over. Aït-Nouri's arrival offers width, defensive stability, and the freedom for Pep to reintroduce asymmetrical build-up shapes. Rayan Cherki, the wild card. From Lyon, blessed with flair and creativity, he could be the unpredictable spark to unlock stubborn defences. The task? Translate League One promise into Premier League end product. Manuel Fierunders, the midfield stabiliser, signed from Serie A, he brings ball progression, press resistance and tactical intelligence to share the load, once carried almost entirely by Rodri. James Trafford, the homegrown return. While likely a rotational keeper, his presence strengthens the squad's depth and culture. Oscar Bobo, the entire answer to the De Bruyne question. Young, versatile and with a fearless dribbling style, he's expected to take a giant's leap this year, not just as a squad player, but potentially as a new creative hub. The strategy is bold. Replace replaceable stars not with like-for-liking clones, but with a new tactical identity. Spread creativity across multiple players instead of relying on a single talisman. Increase defensive resilience to handle high-pressure matches when possession dominance isn't enough. Pep's adjustments will likely see City oscillate between their traditional positional player and a more transitional, counter-ready setup. Without De Bruyne's laser passing, they may play narrower, using Reinders and Foden in combination to overload central channels, while Aït-Nouri and Nunez stretch the pitch just enough to keep opponents guessing. If it works, the 2025/26 City could be less predictable, harder to break down, and more ruthless in moments. If it fails, we could see the most jarring identity crises of Pep's career. But that's the beauty and the danger of City's current gangle. To grasp City's chances this season, you have to measure them against the predators circling at the top of the food chain. Arsenal, the clearest threat. Mikel Arteta's project is no longer a coming force. It's fully armed and operational. They've kept their core intact, added depth in both fullback roles, and boast a midfield trio that can match anyone for energy and control. Where City are adapting without De Bruyne, Arsenal have the comfort of continuity. They can hit the ground running while Pep is still fine-tuning his new machine. To Liverpool, under Arne Slot, they've rediscovered the heavy metal pressing that suffocates opponents. With Mohamed Salah still delivering world-class output and a rejuvenated midfield, Liverpool's biggest asset is their intensity. City, with an ageing spine and a keeper less comfortable in build-up play, may find Anfield a nightmare to navigate. Chelsea, unpredictable but dangerous. A fully fit squad under Enzo Maresca, bolstered by new attacking firepower, makes them a high-ceiling, high-variant rival. If their young talents click, Chelsea could steal big points in head-to-head battles. Even in goal, comparisons are telling. Donnarumma versus Ramsdale versus Alisson, Donnarumma dominates in raw shot-stopping numbers. Last season's save percentage ranked among Europe's top 2, but Ramsdale and Alisson both outclass him in passing completion under pressure, a vital stat for breaking presses. That gap could force City into more conservative patterns, especially against high-energy opponents. Tactically, Pep's flexibility is both a blessing and a curse. Arsenal and Liverpool thrive on repetition, drilling their best patterns until they're instinctive. City's ever-evolving shapes demand more adaptation from players, meaning the margin for error is smaller in the early season. This is where the gamble lies. While City's rivals can afford to perfect what already works, Pep is trying to rewrite the playbook mid-flight. If it clicks, he'll outmaneuver them all. If not, they'll pounce before Christmas. And here's the thing, we've all seen title races where a single winter slump changes everything. Which rival do you think will land the heaviest punch on City this season, and could it be the one nobody is talking about? Manchester City stand on the edge of a knife. The departure of Kevin De Bruyne has ripped out the heartbeat of their midfield. The safety net of past dominance is gone, and Pep Guardiola is staring at the most delicate balancing act of his career. Yet history tells us something about Pep. When the walls close in, he doesn't just fight back, he reinvents. This isn't about replacing De Bruyne with a carbon copy, it's about creating a team that doesn't need a De Bruyne to win. A side where Oscar Ball grows into a fearless creator, where Reinders and Rodri control games like twin conductors, where Ait Nourel locks down the left flank, and where Donnarumma turns decisive saves into title-finding moments. If this vision takes hold, we could witness the birth of City 2, leaner, sharper, and nastier in the moments that matter. If it doesn't, the Premier League crown might not just slip away, it could be gone for years. This season isn't just about trophies, it's about proving that the dynasty can survive without its brightest jewel, and that Pep can still outthink the pack when the deck is stacked against him. Because if City emerge from this gauntlet as champions, it won't just be another title, it will be the ultimate statement that their golden era is not over, it's evolved. So here's the real question for every fan watching. Are we about to see the rise of a new City dynasty, or the final chapter of one of football's greatest reigns? You've seen the changes, you've felt the stakes, now what's your call?